My wife stunned me. On our anniversary. I sold your cabin. He needed money. What if the love you cherished was a lie, and the truth crashed down on your anniversary? Ryan's decade with Lauren unravels in a heartbeat, her casual betrayal slicing deeper than any knife. At a lakeside dinner, waves whispering deceit, she drops a bomb. I sold your lodge, not just any lodge. The Clearview haven his father left him, his sanctuary from her chaos. But why? For her boyfriend, Ethan, a name Ryan never knew until now. Her words, cool as the evening breeze, hide a chilling plot. Stolen legacies, secret, schemes, and a man whose shadow looms over their marriage. Was she always this stranger? How many lies has she spun under his roof? As Sophie's laugh grates and Lauren's smirk betrays no remorse, Ryan's world tilts. Yet, beneath his shock, a fire ignites, not of defeat, but of defiance. This isn't just a story of heartbreak. It's a pulse-pounding dive into deception, where every secret uncovered fuels a reckoning. Will Ryan let her dismantle his life, or will he turn her betrayal into her undoing? Step into a saga of lies and revenge that grips you from the first. Waves crash. We were seated at a secluded lakeside table, waves brushing the shore like a lullaby meant to mask the catastrophe unfolding in real time. I'd orchestrated the entire getaway, booked the same cabin we'd use for our honeymoon, brought her favourite Merlot, even got a damn engraved necklace inscribed, always, no matter what. Yeah, ironic. The sunset framed her perfectly. Her name's Lauren, and to outsiders, she's the woman men dream of. Tall, that sly grin, a voice smooth like warm honey. But beneath, cold, cunning, and now holding a wineglass with the poise of a queen who'd just torched her kingdom. Her cousin Sophie was there. Don't ask why I agreed. Giggling over some influencer's ex-meltdown, sipping Pinot like we weren't marking a milestone. 10 years. Memories, vacations, family barbecues, morning coffees, late-night talks, and, apparently, a boyfriend I didn't know existed. Lauren glanced at me with that casual look she uses when returning shoes she's worn to 3 events. Oh, by the way, she said, like mentioning the forecast, I sold your lodge. Silence. My lodge. The one in Clearview my dad left me before he passed. The one I restored with my own hands. My refuge when life, or she, got heavy. My lips parted. No sound. I mean, she shrugged. It made sense. My boyfriend needed cash for his startup. She said, boyfriend, like it was a handbag, like I was the intruder at this anniversary. Sophie laughed, that sharp, grating cackle from college when she'd prank her ex and post it for clout. He'll move on, she said, flicking non-existent dust off her tailored jacket. My heart didn't race. It tightened. I smiled, a chilling smile born not of joy, but of that moment when something inside snaps and reshapes forever. That's funny, I said, setting down my glass. Because I sold something too. Lauren's fork froze mid-air. Sophie blinked. The silence, thick and suffocating, stretched like a taut wire. I snapped it. I sold the firm, the one your boyfriend was leeching from, to an overseas group. It's done. Paperwork hits next week. Her face drained like a valve had burst. You're lying, she said. I swiped my phone, showed the email. $4.8 million on closed, immediate. Sophie gasped like a reality star at bad press. Lauren reached for her glass, missed. I stood. Oh, and since we're confessing tonight, your boyfriend Ethan, I had him checked 3 weeks ago. I leaned close. I know about the embezzlement, the sham tech venture, the underage barista in Portland. Feds are looped in. I grabbed my jacket, relishing the panic rising in her eyes. Her mouth opened, silent. For once, she was wordless. Then I said, loud, enough for the next table to hear. Enjoy your romantic getaway, ladies. It's the last you'll have for a while. I left the lakefront with the calm only vengeance brings. Not because I wanted this end, but because this wasn't my loss's start, it was her collapse's beginning. Ever had your soul step outside and watch your life like a film? This was it. I wasn't the victim anymore. I was the man who woke up. 3 weeks prior, I'd sensed trouble. Lauren started angling her phone away when texting. Subtle, but not. To someone who'd studied her habits for a decade, she laughed more at texts than at me. The intimacy, hand grazes, kitchen hugs, midnight murmurs, vanished like a switch flipped. I found receipts in the bin from eateries we'd never visited. Men's sunglasses in her car's back seat. Once, home early from work, I caught her smiling at her laptop like it whispered secrets. She slammed it shut when she saw me, claiming she was streaming a talk show. Sure, it wasn't one thing. It was countless clues piling up like stones walling us apart. The real blow was our joint account. That lodge, my sanctuary, was sold. Not listed, not valued, just quietly transferred. Funds funneled through a dummy account. The name, Ethan Cole. I called Jake, my college buddy, now a private investigator with a vendetta against cheaters, after his own wife's betrayal. He was a pro. Within days, I had call logs, messages, photos, video of her leaving a motel with him, her hand on his back like it was home, her kissing him in a lot like no one watched, but I did. 6 months they'd been at it. 6. While I planned our anniversary, she fed lies to another man. The night I faced her, I didn't yell or weep. I waited. She claimed she was at Sophie's, soothing her breakup. She came home in heels. I didn't. Recognize, lips too glossy, perfume too strong, trying too hard to seem relaxed. I sat in the dark. She flinched when she saw me. Christ, Ryan, why are you in the dark? Thinking, I said. She reached for the light, but my question stopped her. Where were you, Lauren? Her eyes flicked. I told you, Sophie's. Try again. A pause, then another. She scoffed. Are you serious? Don't you trust me? No. She rolled her eyes. You're so paranoid. That's why we're crumbling. Crumbling because I'm paranoid. I stood. Or because you're sleeping with your boyfriend in motels while telling me you're consoling your cousin. Her face paled. She opened her mouth. Nothing. Then defiance. You. Checked my phone, hired someone. That's crazy, Ryan. You're crazy. Maybe if you'd been a husband instead of a sleuth. I slammed a folder on the table. Photos spilled like indictments. Her in Ethan's car, in a dress I didn't know, clinging to him, kissing him, laughing, holding his hand in a diner a block from our home. Silence. I loved you, I said, voice shaking. Fucking loved you. She didn't blink, just leaned on the counter, arms crossed like a teen caught curfew breaking. Yeah, well, love doesn't fund Ethan's vision. He's building something real. Something that matters. I stared, stunned. I sold the lodge because it was just there. You barely visit. My dad built that place, I said. I restored it when he died. It meant something. She shrugged. It meant money to us. You'll move on. Those words, you'll move on, showed she wasn't just cheating. She was never my ally. Next morning, she was gone. No note, no text, just empty closets, half her wardrobe missing, her signature scent lingering like a cruel taunt. I sat on the bed for hours, not thinking, not crying, just suspended in a slow, silent implosion. You know when your body's present, but your mind's hovering, watching like a spectre? That was me. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was emotional mutiny. She didn't just stray. She stole from me, lied to my face, sold my legacy to bankroll another man's scheme. I stared at the necklace I'd given her. Always, no matter what. What a fucking farce. By noon, Sophie was spamming my phone, calling me childish, saying I was wrecking Lauren's calm and making it about me. Lauren claimed I was controlling, distant, emotionally cruel. I laughed so hard I nearly gagged. Me? The guy who made her tea every morning, never touched her phone, funded her spa weekends, her luxury bags, her spontaneous trips, no questions asked. I blocked Sophie's number. At 2 p.m, Jake called. "Sit down for this," he said. "I'm already down." He sighed. Ethan's not just a broke dreamer with a startup. He's married. Silence. Lives in Portland. Wife's Claire. 2 kids. Lauren's not the only one being played. I nearly dropped the phone. So she's the mistress? Seems so, but she doesn't know. I thanked him, hung up, and laughed. A deep, raw laugh. The kind that comes when pain gets so absurd it festers. She betrayed me for a man betraying her. Poetic justice. But I wasn't done. I drove to the lodge, or its remains. I needed one last look before the legal gears turned. The air was crisp, trees murmuring like they'd witnessed too much. I stepped through the door into the silence of that old house. Every nail I'd driven, every pane I'd polished, every memory, gone, bartered like a cheap ticket. I left a note on the counter. "You'll move on, right?" On the drive back, I stopped at the attorney's office. Divorce papers were ready. I signed without blinking, no hesitation. All I felt was a scorching, bitter satisfaction. She'd left with nothing but her illusions and a collapsing fantasy built on another's lies. That night, she called, blocked number, but her voice, unmistakable. "You didn't have to shame me like that," she hissed. "You sold my dad's legacy for a man who doesn't want you. You're just bitter." "No, I'm free." She hung up. I stared at my reflection in the glass. Same face, same scars, different eyes, tougher, clearer, wiser. I wasn't the man planning anniversaries anymore. I was the man who survived Lauren. 3 days passed without her voice. I figured she was playing house with Ethan, convincing herself she'd leveled up, believing her wreckage was worth the hollow Eden she'd chased. Then Claire called, Ethan's wife. Her voice was calm, but a faint quiver betrayed sleepless nights. "You're Ryan, right?" "Yes." "I found your number in my husband's secret files. We need to talk." We met at a roadside cafe, one of those retro joints with leather booths and faded Beatles posters. She looked exhausted. Not physically, she was striking, but soul-weary, like someone lied to so long she doubted her own gut. She slid a folder across the table. I opened it, froze. Screenshots, emails, bank records, photos. Ethan was using Lauren as a conduit, moving cash through fake ventures under her name. Her name, not his. That's why he needed my lodge sold. To pile more assets in her name, deflecting scrutiny. "She doesn't know," Claire said. "He's setting her up. He's planning to vanish." It hit like a freight train. Lauren, who discarded our marriage, like garbage, was about to lose more than her pride. She'd take the fall for a man who didn't care. I should have felt pity. I didn't. I thanked Claire, left cash, walked into the night, hands trembling, not fear, rage. I called Lauren. No answer. I texted one line. "Ask Ethan about Belize." She called back in 2 minutes. "Ryan, what are you talking about?" "His new ID, offshore accounts, one-way ticket, fake passport." "You're lying." "I'm warning." Silence. For the first time, her voice broke. "What do I do?" I could have hung up, should have, but some remnant of the man who loved her spoke. "Run." She didn't reply. That night, I slept better than I had in months. Next morning, the news hit. Local woman arrested in financial fraud probe tied to tech scam. They showed a blurred mugshot, but I knew that outfit, those eyes. Lauren, queen of icy smirks, master of deceit, now caged for a man who vanished that day. Poetic fucking justice. I watched on mute. No sound needed. Her eyes spoke volumes. No tears, no screams, just blank. Like someone realizing the world doesn't bow to her whims. I pictured her cell. Concrete, cold food, thin mattress, while the man she ruined everything for slipped away, her name smeared across fake accounts. I should have felt triumphant. I didn't. A strange numbness settles when it's over, like your mind doesn't know what to do without the fight. No more late-night arguments, no wondering if she's lying, just silence. And silence is a harsh companion. I visited the lodge's empty plot the next week, bulldozed, gone. Not a board left, just scorched earth and a rusty screw in the dirt like a grave marker. She erased it for nothing. I pocketed the screw, a memento of what she stole, what she lost. The lawyer called next day. Her team wants character, references, he said. I laughed so hard I set the phone down. Character, Lauren. Those words don't mix. They claimed she was duped, manipulated, a victim. Maybe partly true, but not wholly. She wasn't blameless. She knew she sold what wasn't hers, knew she was lying, hiding, scheming. She just didn't expect the flames to reach her. I gave no reference. What could I say? She was my wife, cheated, lied, sold my past, killed our future. I wouldn't trust her with my spare keys, let alone the law. Let her actions speak now. Days later, Sophie appeared at my door. Puffy eyes, mascara smudged. She looked a decade older. I didn't know it was that bad, she whispered. I stared like she was a pest on clean tile. You laughed when she said she sold my lodge. I thought it was a joke. Ethan seemed so slick. We didn't know. You didn't care, I cut in. You never cared. You both treated me like a prop in your drama. I'm sorry. You're not. You're scared. She flinched. I shut the door. That night, I held the necklace again. Always, no matter what. I dangled it over the fire pit, stared a full minute, dropped it, watched flames melt it to nothing. There was no always. Only now, and now I was free. Weeks passed, calls stopped, noise faded, life resumed. The house was too quiet at first. I used to hate silence. Lauren always filled it with music, her voice, fake laughs on calls with friends. Now the quiet felt pure, real, no pretending, no wondering who she texted or where she went when she said, "Don't wait up." I started rising early, brewing strong coffee instead of her overpriced blends. I'd sit on the deck, robe on, mug in hand, watching dawn break. Some mornings, I'd replay it all like a scratched record. Her betrayal, her smug face, you'll move on. It still hit, but the pain was softer. Jake called one dawn. She's taking a plea, he said. No trial, minimum sentence, maybe 18 months if her lawyers don't botch it. Good, I said. Thought you'd want to know. I do. He paused. You okay? Better than I've been in years. I meant it. The pain didn't vanish. It made sense. Lauren was never who I thought. The signs were there. Her subtle cruelty, gaslighting, playing victim when caught. I just didn't want to see. I loved a mirage. One afternoon, cleaning the shed, I found a box labeled R+L honeymoon, photos, trinkets, notes we'd swapped. I sifted through, no tears, no rage, just detached, like spying on strangers. At the bottom, a postcard, unsent, addressed to me, her handwriting. If you're reading this, maybe I screwed up. Or you did, but I hope we remember who we were at the start. I laughed, dry, bitter. She clung to the start because it was all that mattered to her, perfect, easy, new. She bailed when it demanded effort, loyalty, respect. And now she sat in a jumpsuit, likely blaming everyone but herself. I burned the box that night, watched our false love story dissolve into smoke. A week later, I returned to the cafe where I met Claire. She wasn't there, but the barista remembered me. "You look lighter," she said, pouring coffee. "Maybe I dropped something I shouldn't have carried." She smiled. "Good for you." I smiled back, meaning it for the first time in years. Spring arrived unannounced, grass greened, mornings warmed, and I stopped counting days to anything. No anniversaries to fake, no pretending to be fine for peace's sake. I wasn't numb or angry. I was awake. One night, a message came from an unknown number. "He's gone. Left me nothing, just so you know." No name, but I knew her tone. Stripped of bravado, venom reduced to desperation, I stared a minute, thumb over the keyboard, then powered off. Let her stew in her wreckage. Next morning, Claire called. She'd left Portland, took the kids, started fresh near her sister in Montana. She said she could finally breathe. "Ever think we were just extras in Ethan and Lauren's self-obsessed flick?" she asked. "Yeah, but now we're off the set. We talked an hour, not about them, but life. What comes after surviving betrayal?" I told her about the lodge, the note, the necklace in the fire. She laughed when I said I'd started baking. "You baking?" "Don't knock it," I said. "Kneading dough beats therapy." Days later, she sent a package. A note. "A fresh start needs good tools." Inside, a new set of measuring cups. That night, I baked blueberry muffins from scratch. Ate two, scorched one, left the last on the sill. Like a silly fairy tale. It felt good, honest. Lauren once called me dull, said I lacked drive, didn't make her feel alive. She didn't get that real peace isn't loud or showy. It's not wine on balconies with liars. It's quiet mornings knowing yourself, living without pretense. Her trial hit the news again. Ethan was never caught. Some say he's in Bali. Others say he faked his death. I don't care. I stopped tracking updates. I live. One night, I returned to the lakeside restaurant where she betrayed me. Alone. Same table, same Merlot. The waiter eyed me oddly. "Waiting for someone?" "No," I said. "Not this time." I raised a glass to no one, smiling like 1,000 ghosts were fading. Days ago, I got the official letter. Lauren Carter released from custody after reduced sentence. No apology, no message. Just a fact on stark government paper, as cold as she was at the end. I folded it, tucked it in a drawer's back. Not because I needed it, but because it was the last page of a closed chapter. She's out there, likely chasing the next thrill, the next quick buck, the next fool to buy her polished smile. But she'll never get another second of my life, not a text, glance, or thought I don't choose. I'm not angry, I'm grateful. She raised everything, and that set me free. Last weekend, I drove upstate, not to the old lodge, long gone, but to a new spot. Smaller, quieter mine. I built a fire, watched smoke weave into the pines, and for the first time in years, I didn't look back. I met someone recently. Nothing heavy yet, just walks, easy laughs, no lies. Her name's Mia. She doesn't pry about my past, lets me share on my terms or not at all. Her smile doesn't feel like a snare. It's like sunlight after a long storm. A broken heart teaches you. Love without respect is venom. Loyalty trumps excitement. Silence beats deceitful words. If you're lucky, you learn to rise from the ruins, shake off the dust, and walk away. Not bitter, but better. To any man where I once stood, trust your gut. Don't apologize for questions. If someone dims your worth, they're not yours. When truth arrives, face it. Let it break you, then rebuild. I'm not the man she married. I'm something she'll never grasp. Whole, honest, finally free. The deepest wounds teach the fiercest truths. Lauren's betrayal, selling Ryan's lodge, weaving lies with Ethan, didn't just shatter a marriage, It forged a man who learned to stand unbowed. Her calculated cruelty, masked by charm, revealed a universal lesson. Love that demands your sacrifice while offering deceit is no love at all. Ryan's journey through her web of fraud and infidelity unveils a stark truth. Your gut is your guide when trust falters. If someone's affection feels like a transaction, it's a trap. To those navigating betrayal's shadow, hear this. Letting go isn't loss, it's liberation. The silence after chaos isn't empty. It's where you reclaim your worth. Never apologize for questioning what feels wrong, for loyalty should never be a one-way street. Ryan's scars are his wisdom, proof that surviving manipulation means choosing yourself, even when it burns. The greatest victory isn't revenge, it's living authentically, free from those who dim your light. Lauren's downfall, caged by her own schemes, is a reminder. Truth always surfaces, and those who wield lies will choke on them. Rise from the wreckage, not to curse the past, but to build a future where your heart answers only to you.